Hey, I want to take a couple minutes to talk to you about the very human experience of failure. All of us, if we're honest, we know we have failed many times in life. We've experienced setbacks, we've lost, we've failed, and it's so important for us to take the time to leverage our failure. Leveraging failure is one of the greatest advantages that comes from failure and setbacks in life. But learning how to leverage it, that's the key. There's three things I think we have to be able to do effectively in order to leverage failure so that it begins to strengthen us and make us better as men and as women and as leaders. The first one is we frankly just need to own the failure. Far too many people, as we all know, continue to spend their time blaming and accusing other people for the failures in their life. They spend all of their energy still deflecting and absolving themselves of any responsibility. The reality is that almost every time we have some part to play in the failures that we experience, and I've got to learn to own it, whatever that is. If you've been passed over for a promotion, rather than just blaming how unfair your boss is or how unfair upper management is, what part did you play in them not picking you? Own that part. Don't just play the victim and deflect any responsibility. I will assure you there is something that you have done or haven't done that has contributed to you not getting that promotion. It could be in your personal life. It could be a failed relationship that you played a role in. Own what your part is. It's not always the other person's fault completely. There is a role that we have played in it. We have played maybe a role in the areas of not being as honest as we should have been, maybe not communicating as clearly or with as much urgency sometimes as we should have. Maybe we didn't hold somebody accountable to certain things. Maybe we didn't hold ourselves accountable to certain things. It doesn't matter what it is. We all have an area of ownership when it comes to failure, whether it's in your finances, whether it's in your moral life, whether it's in just your health, the way you take care of yourself, or whether or not it's in your professional life. It doesn't matter. Let's begin by owning the failure in terms of what is our part in it. Secondly, learn from it. Far too many people don't take the time to truly learn the lessons that have come from their failures. Take the time, sit down, write out what are the failures that you've experienced in your life, and think about what lessons have you learned from your part in the failure. If you do that, if you can really begin to craft some lessons that you've learned, now you're going to be able to grow. You're going to make sure that you don't repeat those lessons again in the future. And not only that, but then number three, you get to begin sharing it selectively with people so that now you get to use your wisdom, your insight, and your experience to help other people, to help encourage them, to help grow them and develop them. But that only comes if you own it, you learn from it, then you can share it, and you can now begin leaving ripples of an impact in people's lives from the mistakes and the failures that all of us have made. So I want to encourage us all to do this. Take a failure inventory, whatever those things that are in our lives. Ask yourself the question, have I owned my part? And if so, what was my part? Secondly, what have I learned from these failures? And thirdly, who have I shared these things with, and who could I share these things with to help encourage them and grow them and hopefully develop them further? Hope this encourages you guys as we continue to leverage failure so that we continue to be the strongest and the most capable that we're able to be.